I'd like to go ahead and turn things over to David. David, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. By way of introduction, Northern Light is a software company. We're not a market research firm. We are a software company, and what we do is we provide knowledge management solutions for market research and competitive intelligence. Typically, we build these solutions for clients that have a wide diversity of content, starting with industry research firms. We are integrated with 160 industry research firms, including people like Informa and Kantar and Mintel and Forrester and Decision Resources. And we aggregate content that our clients license from those into their knowledge management systems. We also work with external research providers, literally hundreds of them, who upload content into the knowledge management systems we provide for their clients. We aggregate news, we aggregate journals, we aggregate social media, we aggregate government databases, which are very relevant to market research and competitive intelligence in certain industries. And then lastly, we aggregate all of the internal research from all of our clients. Our clients often have very large market research budgets. Some of them have budgets order of magnitude $150 million a year. And so they're generating a very large amount of content that we are also aggregating and creating this sort of unified access portal across all of the internal and external market research and competitive intelligence. As a result of this, and because of the scale of our clients, we see a very large amount of professional work every day, thousands and thousands of users and tens of thousands of queries for people executing market research and business analysis and competitive intelligence analyses every single day. We have 250,000 user accounts at companies. We have 4 of the top 10 IT companies, 4 of the top 10 pharmas as clients, 4 of the top 10 financial services companies as clients, and clients across telecom, consumer packaged goods, strategy consulting, healthcare, and other industries as well. So we're deeply involved with the problem of how do business users find the relevant research and competitive intelligence to help them make better business decisions, and we worry obsessively about that every day and help thousands and thousands of users do that. And to talk about, I think, to help understand, to set up the problem, to frame it, because everybody thinks of it as a search problem. I need research on a topic, I'm going to go execute a search. I get some collection of content, and I'm going to find documents, and that's going to help me with my research problem. And one of the big problems we have is we're all socialized by the consumer search engines like Google, for example. And we're all used to doing multiple searches each and every day and having pretty much success and being satisfied with that experience. But we are often dealing with what I will call easy search. So easy search is looking for, say, a fact where there is an answer, and I know what the question is. So easy search might be, what time does the movie start? If you type that into Google in normal times and you know the name of the movie you're looking for, you're going to be able to read the result directly from the search result. You're not going to even have to go to the website of the theater to get that answer. Or where can I find a pizza restaurant near me? I recently did this query, actually, and what you get is it pops up a map with little dots, pins that will show me where I can go to get a pizza. So we have, as consumers, we have great success with these kinds of easy questions against the large consumer search engines that we use every day. But business research is completely different from the above. It is hard search, and the user in a business research setting is trying to master a complex topic. They're trying to consume analysis, commentary, and perspective. They're trying to learn about issues they don't know about and could not put into a search query because search engines only give you what you ask for. If you don't ask for the right thing, you don't get it. And so in a business research setting, how should I be marketing my product to a millennial audience, for example? That kind of issue Many times the users not only would not be able to necessarily recognize what the right answer is, but they don't even know what the questions are. And the hardest and most complex of all search questions is this one. What should I know about this topic? And this will get us into the question of importance as opposed to relevance. We are going to have to consider the question of what is an important response as opposed to simply a relevant response. Now this is a picture in my imagination. This is a meeting of all the brand managers that a particular market research department serves. These are obviously millennials, and last year, 2019, was the year when we passed the 50% mark, and over half of the professional workforce today are millennials. And millennials have a completely different cognitive style than boomers and Gen Xers. So for boomers and Gen Xers, the advent of online search engines and online search and enterprise level search, that was a radical innovation in our professional lives. We all worked for years without that, or lived for years without that. And so we are very personal research oriented. Give us a question, we're going to grab a search engine and try to solve it. Millennials are different. They grew up where social networking was the radical innovation in their lives. And they are much more likely to rely on the recommendations of friends, colleagues, and experts than they are on their own personal research. There's a lot of good research on this, on the cognitive style of millennials, published by BCG and IBM and the American Chamber of Commerce. If any of you are interested in it, drop me a note. I'll share some citations with you. Millennials have what is actually a really good idea, which is, I don't have to figure this out. Someone else has done it. My job is to connect with that person and the content they have posted. And that is why they rely, and that is almost always true in today's world. You do not have to reinvent the wheel every time. If you can connect to the right curated collection of content on a topic, you will often get the answer. So and the other thing is mobile. You'll notice in our picture every single person is looking at their phone. Mobile is, the rise of mobile is one of the most hostile things to complicated business-oriented search. It's difficult to enter much information on a mobile device. It is difficult to consume complicated information on a mobile device, and particularly difficult to do any kind of analysis on a mobile device. So if you want to prove that to yourself, it's really easy. Grab your phone and type in the following query, quote, new product announcements, unquote, and paren, and then list your top 10 competitors with our statements between them and close the parentheses. That kind of query which is very useful for competitive intelligence, is very difficult to do on a mobile phone because it's difficult to type that many characters without making serious mistakes. And even if you do it, it's still laborious and painful. So millennials and mobile, completely different cognitive styles than what has gone before, and there are profound implications for that in your market research and your competitive intelligence knowledge management systems. So what are we hearing from our users? I hate the search process. Why do I have to read all those reports and articles on the search result? Why can't the machine just read them for me and tell me what it finds? So why do they hate the search process? Because it's tedious, it's laborious, you're slogging through a search result, you're dealing with those little snippets of information that the search engines dribble out to you about what each document has in it. And it's just work. And there is this perception on that second bullet point that the technology is capable of helping more than it is. Traditional search gives you that list of documents. Why doesn't it do more for me? The machines should be capable of doing it. And the millennials in particular understand that the technology can do more if the search applications and the knowledge management systems are designed to do it. Next question. Why do I have to search at all? Why can't the machine just watch the content flow and tell me when there is something new I should know about? And that's the ultimate time saver. You don't even have to do the search. You don't have to even go through the search result trying to decide what to take a look at. Let the machine just monitor the content flow, work for me 24/7, tell me when I need to know something. And search has not been able to do these things until very recently. The search engines and search technology was not able to understand the content at a level and a lot of content across many documents on a search result and to interpret it for the user and to automatically figure out what the user is interested in knowing. And the reason for that is search engines have always operated off of the concept of relevance. The user gave me a query, I can calculate a statistical relationship between a document and the query. I can do a calculation, and I know that this document is 68% relevant, and that one is 72% relevant, so I'm going to put that second document higher on the search result. We've been doing that for decades. We've been doing that for 30 years in the search engine community. But what we could never do is figure out what's important. That requires an entirely different level of processing and understanding of the material and of the use case. And so importance is the new idea that is now possible because of machine learning and AI-assisted search features. So let's take a look at how that might play out. I hope you can read this screen. It's a little fuzzy on the screenshot. I made it, as you can see, as big as possible. I went to the very edge of the document to try to of the slide to make it legible. So I hope you can read some of this. But here's my search: sustainability marketing to millennials. It's for 90 days. It's a news feed of business news. There are 711 hits on this search result, which is a typical overwhelming amount of content that the user has to deal with. And on the left-hand side, you see that traditional search result. You have the citation information, the title, and the source, and the date, and there's a news story, so time of day is actually sometimes relevant. And then you have that little snippet of information where there's a sentence that has been pulled out to show the keywords, the query terms and context in the document to give the user a little bit more to work with. So this is traditional search. User starts scanning on this list, tries to figure out what's interesting and relevant, and picks one of these documents and reads it and learns the insights from it. Now, I have hidden something from you on the right-hand side, which I will now do the big reveal. And that's the insights report. With the insights report, what has happened is the machine has read the documents on the search result. Read them at real time because we can't know what documents are going to be there because we don't know what the search terms are going to be. And the machine has figured out what the important ideas are according to the machine learning algorithms in those documents. And it has written a report for the user to consume in addition to or in place of going through the traditional search result. I'm going to expand that report to make it a little easier for you to read. So let's just see if we can have any insights about marketing to millennials from this automatically generated report from the documents that are on my search result. So the first sentence says, we believe these trends will make a permanent impact on the future of food and beverage packaging. And then it goes on to talk about the importance of eco-friendly solutions. Now, this is a market research insight I just had. Okay, I need to think about my packaging. I need to think about when I am engaged in sustainability marketing, my packaging is an important idea. And there was nothing in my query about packaging. But the machine has figured out that packaging is an important concept that is related to sustainability marketing to millennials. Let's go to the second citation here. But the question has always remained about whether the cost of implementing models that make products more sustainable was actually, well, sustainable for retailers. goes on to say, as younger generations have risen seeking not only sustainable products and brands, but openly stating they are willing to pay more for them. And then there's a second sentence about research that supports that. Here's another market research insight. There was nothing in my query about pricing, but the machine has figured out that pricing, and higher prices in particular, are an important idea that relates to sustainability marketing to millennials. Now, these market research insights are being generated by the machine learning algorithms. The algorithms identify the most important ideas in the documents on the search report, on the search result, and they write the report. They look at the full text of all those documents on the search result, and they write this report. And each idea has to fight for its position on the report based on how pithy and relevant and important it is. We actually calculate an importance score on the fly for every single sentence in the documents on the search result, and that's how those sentences get picked for the report. It is an importance calculation. Just to comment on that, we always get the questions, well, how do you do that? My first observation is declarative sentences are the unit of ideas. Millennials are willing to pay more for sustainable solutions. That is a declarative sentence. It has a subject or verb, it has objects or verbs, it has prepositional phrases and objects of prepositional phrases. It is a declarative sentence, and it expresses an idea. Ideas, virtually always in human communication, come in the form of a declarative sentence. And then the machine calculates the important ideas by by computing a semantic graph of all the declarative sentences in the documents on the search result. Now, you probably don't know the term, if you're not a machine learning technical person, of what a semantic graph is. But the foundational assumption of semantic graphs is the assertion that the most important entities are the ones with the most relationships with the most important relationship partners. And you can actually reduce those relationships, the number of relationships and how important they are, to a number, and you can put in a table. And the table can show you the relationships between all the ideas or sentences or websites or journal articles or whatever you're measuring the semantic graph of. And you can, or how important people are too, by the way, the famous social graph that Facebook has. So you can, graph analysis really works well. It has a long history, goes back to the 1950s. If you've ever heard of the impact factor in journal publishing, which started in the 1950s, it says the most important journal articles are the ones that are cited the most by the most important journal articles. Every day you encounter a semantic graph when you use Google. Google ranks search results and famously successfully using a semantic graph of web pages and websites. Also the document summaries you see on Google search results are generated by a semantic graph of the text on each individual web page. So we all encounter semantic graphs every day. Northern Light has extended the concept of graph analysis to summarizing the important ideas of the entire search result in the form of the insights report. I'll give you a little quick example of that. Here are 5 sentences from 5 different documents on my search result. And I have shown you a conceptual graph of how the machine might have calculated the graph in these cases. You'll notice that the 2 with the heavy border, they mention the idea of millennials, they mention the idea of sustainability marketing, and in both of these cases, and these are from different documents, in both of these cases they also mention price, a willingness to spend more. One case spend more, another case to pay more. The machine always figures out that those things are related to each other. And so these documents have 3 points of similarity, a relationship, and they reinforce each other's importance, and so they become the most important ones. The second document from the top on the left, millennials have taken the lead on sustainable packaging conversation with the expectation, goes on. Here we have the idea of millennials and sustainability marketing, and a new idea, which is packaging, which isn't related, packaging idea isn't related to any of the other sentences, so and it doesn't have the pricing idea. So it's less important, still important, but less important. On the bottom left-hand side, we have the consumer increasingly cares about sustainability. That's the Nike CEO, the new CEO. So now we have, again, it's related. It's talking about millennials are consumers, but it's not specifically about millennials. It's talking about sustainability, which is good and gives us some relationships here, but it doesn't mention the packaging point, doesn't mention the pricing point. So this one still makes the cut, as it turns out, but it's sort of on the bubble. And then in the bottom right-hand side, we have a sentence that says, live music events are the ultimate playground for beauty inspiration, and it goes on, which is a market research insight, just not one that is really strongly related to sustainability for millennials, sustainability marketing. It doesn't make the cut. It's not in the report. So we calculate this graph for all of the sentences in the documents on the search result, and the declarative sentences with the best ideas get put into the report, and that's how we generate it. So what are the benefits? Well, the average user will be better informed about the business issue if the user reads the insights report than if the user engages in at least just the traditional search process. Because of this increasing grab-and-go philosophy that's dominating business research, the average business professional downloads only one article or report per search query. And that means they miss the insights and all of the other documents on that search result. And that is a real tragedy. If you're one of our clients spending $150 million a year on generating market research insights, and they're not being consumed at the level that they really should be to support business decisions, this tendency to only look at one document means that a lot of that, means business decisions are not as well supported by good research as they should be. With the insights report, the user can glean insights from across the search result. All of the documents have a chance of contributing insights that the user will then learn, and the user ends up with a much broader grasp of what the company knows about a topic. Now, power users are different than the occasional or casual users. Power users are your market researchers. They are your competitive intelligence professionals, and often are people like product managers who might have come up through market research and really appreciate it. Very personal research oriented, and they will, in fact, read multiple reports and articles on a topic per search session. But they engage in a two-step process. They do a quick glance through all the documents and those little snippets of sentences that are on the traditional search result, and they try to understand what the issues are, and then they go back and drill in. Well, for that group, the insights report really helps because it helps them identify those issues almost instantly. They just read their insights report. They now know what's important. Okay, pricing is important. Packaging is important. Other things might turn out to be important if we had read the rest of the insights report. We only read about 15% of it there. So they now go back to that search result really well informed and ready to rock in terms of downloading documents and consuming them in depth. So the net result of the machine reading the documents for the user and writing the report is the large group of users, the occasional users, just learn so much more than the traditional search process, and the power users are so much more efficient at learning really the in-depth knowledge that they grasp. Now, the next topic, if you remember, the next request we're getting from users is they don't want to even have to search. While we're trying to make search as painless as possible here and as productive as possible, they really don't want to search. And so that's where the recommended reading list comes in. So imagine for a moment if Siri or Alexa could help you do your professional work instead of just helping you find a pizza restaurant. And with machine learning, that is now possible. The machine can watch what users do quietly in the background, watches their download behavior, and then it can build a model of each user's interest. Then the machine can start to proactively monitor the content flow in the background as new reports are added to the collection. New syndicated reports are published by folks like Informa. New stories come out on some social trend that you're tracking. The machine is monitoring the content flow, and it can reach out to the user with recommendations. And so in effect, the machine, every user gets a personal, smart, digital search assistant working on behalf of that user each and every day. Northern Light has 250,000 users. We have 250,000 personal models of what our users are interested in. On the right-hand side here, you see an example of the recommended reading list. When I was writing this presentation, the machine was watching me. It realized that I was interested in sustainability marketing, and it started making recommendations to me. These come in a daily email alert if I want. They're available in the portal UI and personal dashboards, and these are tailored directly to what I'm doing at the time. And I don't have to write a search alert. Now, search engines have been able to have search alerts for a long time, but users don't set them up. Fewer than 2% of our users ever set up a search alert. But with the recommended reading list, every user gets a personalized search alert just based on what they're interested in. You can rate the recommendations, and the machine gets ever smarter, adjusts to what it learns as you rate them. Not only does it learn from your behavior, it learns from your specific feedback, and each individual's model gets more and more precise. And I'm not, in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through this slide in a lot of detail. But basically what we do is we take the topics that the user is interested in as expressed by the documents that they have downloaded. We build a model of that. We can take those same topics and compare other documents to the user's interest, and then can make the recommendations. It's all unsupervised machine learning, and works amazingly well. Now, those are two different techniques, the insights report and the recommended reading list. What does it work for? Well, we've applied this successfully to every type of document format: Word, PowerPoint, PDF, HTML, XML. We've applied it successfully to primary market research. We've applied it successfully to syndicated market research, competitive intelligence, to business and technology news, to technical journal articles. Boy, does it work well in technical journal articles. The more an article is about something, the better the techniques work, and technical journal articles are the ultimate being about something. Works really well for conference presentations. I would love to apply our techniques to these two excellent presentations you saw before me. I bet we could really write some good reports from them. It doesn't work on social media. That's the only place we haven't been able to make it work, and that's because tweets are in a dialect that don't follow the patterns of English language, and so none of our natural language processing skills apply there. I'd like to just summarize by saying that Northern Light's view is we're approaching the end of search. We're approaching an era when users will no longer search for information. They will expect the machine to find what they need to know on its own, and they will expect the machine to summarize for them what they need to know. In order to support this future, search has to evolve, and it is evolving. It's evolving to have an in-depth understanding of the search material and the ways of knowing in the user's knowledge domain. How does a market researcher know that when you read a document or a report or a sentence, it's an important one? Search has to understand that. How does a market researcher know that this is an important sentence? Using machine learning, we're now able to distinguish not only what is relevant, but also what is important. We're able to summarize the important ideas in a document or on a search result and learn what each user cares about. And the impact of these machine learning trends on the socialization and utilization of market research and competitive intelligence in your company will be profound and will change everything you are doing in your knowledge management system. What is the insight that is most useless for your company? The one that no one ever consumes. And with machine learning, we can dramatically change the trajectory of the consumption, distribution, socialization of those market research insights. So thank you all. I'll be happy to take questions at this time.
David, this is Amanda, the moderator. Thanks so much for that fascinating presentation. We do have a few questions that have come in. First question is, what are the technical and other skills required to build a machine learning application like the automatic insights report? I
think that's a very good question. So it's a lot of natural language processing. So it's the skill set are things like text extraction, part-of-speech tagging, sentence parsing, semantic graph analysis, latent semantic indexing, and also a lot of use case knowledge. You have to think about what is a pithy sentence, what's a relevant sentence, but natural language processing is the core set: part-of-speech tagging, sentence parsing, semantic graph analysis.
Great. Next question is, what have your user reactions been to the personal recommendations that the machine learning algorithms make? Are they worried that the system is paying so much attention to what they're doing, or are they pleasantly surprised?
You know, that's a great question. And it is very interesting how the world has changed on that. So 10 years ago, when we started down this path, maybe less than that for machine learning, maybe 4 years ago, we were very concerned about that, the big brother aspect. The machine is watching everything I do. It's watching every keystroke. You know, people sort of know that about computer systems, but having it demonstrated by hey, we noticed you're interested in this topic. Would you care about this? So there was a lot of concern at Northern Light and also at some of our clients that it would creep out users when they started getting the recommendations. But I think the consumer world helped us out there. We are all used to going on Amazon and doing a search for a product and then seeing advertisements for that product everywhere else we go on the internet. And so the modern user has been actually socialized to accept that and to even see benefits from it. And so the concerns have really melted away, and the reactions that we get from users are often astonishment that the machine is so insightful, because the queries are, in effect, the machine is building a model along 800 dimensions of topics for each user, and that overcomes poor search strategy. What users do usually is they give us a one-word search query, millennials, and then they look for an article and they find, oh, so here's one on sustainability marketing to millennials, and they read that. And the machine figures out the rest of the things that the user was interested in that they didn't express in their query. And when the recommendations start to flow, the documents are often better than the ones the user could find on their own. And they are astonished and pleased and not creeped out by it at all. And that's our current experience.
Great. Thanks so much, David.